Hello, ladies. Look at your man, now back at me. Now back to your man, now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me, but he could be trying to kill you. Or, at least, benefit off of you while harming you in the process. Now, I've read enough Tumblr posts to know that all men are parasites, but, and really bear with me here, what if your relationship was mutualism, where both of you benefit? Or commensalism, where one of you benefit, and the other is just kind of there for the ride? A lot like Bobby during the making of this video. Parasitism, mutualism, and commensalism are three types of symbiosis. And what's symbiosis? Well, it's a type of interaction found in nature. And by nature, I mean on a broader scale that goes beyond just your boyfriend. But if we are going to look at interactions, we've got to go really broad. And to help us with that, let me introduce you to my friend, the disembodied voice of Bobby Swain.
Different types of interactions depend on the population that inhabits a biome. A biome is a group of ecosystems with similar climate, plants, and animals. For example, our native biome is a deciduous forest. A biome is affected by two types of factors, abiotic and biotic. Abiotic factors are non-living things, so some examples of abiotic factors would be rocks, soil, water, air, sunlight, wind, and temperature. Biotic factors are living things in the environment, but a biome is a big place, so let's focus on one specific animal, a raccoon. This raccoon lives in a deciduous forest, therefore making it his habitat. But this raccoon, along with the rest of the living things in the ecosystem, has a role to play. This is known as a niche. This raccoon's niche is expansive due to its species level of adaptability, but its main job is to regulate the food chain, eating things like fish, clams, and shrimp. But the raccoon will eat whatever is available, including carrion, young mammals if they can catch them, insects, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and if humans are around, garbage and pet food. But a raccoon doesn't just eat, it is also meant to be eaten. Cougars, bobcats, coyotes, domestic dogs, and other large carnivores like to snack on the raccoons.
Thanks, Bobby. Now, Bobby's very eloquent raccoon example is a fantastic and certainly not scripted segue into those three types of interactions I teased you all with earlier. What my faceless narrator friend was describing when referring to the raccoon's niche is an example of the first type of interaction we'll discuss, predation. Predation is when one organism, the predator, feeds on another organism, the prey. So, in our example, the raccoon is a predator who preys on the fish, who then becomes prey to those predator rednecks who hit things with their cars and then eat the roadkill. Or, I guess, like a coyote works too. But those prey are a crafty bunch, and they soon learn how to avoid being redneck dinner. Well, raccoon dinner at least. They learn camouflage, which is when they blend in with their environment. Prey also learn to mimic harmful organisms so that predators would avoid them. An example of this would be how the king snake mimics the eastern coral snake, which is venomous. Animals also employ chemical defenses against would-be predators, like how the skunk will spray a foul-smelling gas at hungry carnivores. But predation is just one type of interaction. The next type we're going to explore is competition. Now, living things have a limited amount of resources that they need to, survive, and they don't exactly like to share. So, from one competition, let's take it back to our garbage-feasting friend. And the raccoon, too.
Food is a very important resource, and not one that animals treat lightly. The raccoon enjoys a very similar diet to that of an opossum in the deciduous forest. So say that there are only a few berries immediately available to both animals. The two will be forced to compete for the berries directly by means of, say, a physical altercation, where the raccoon chases off the opossum and takes the berries for itself. This is known as interference competition. There are two other forms of competition, though these are both indirect: exploitation competition and apparent competition. Exploitation competition is a result of one species consuming a limited resource and therefore making it unavailable for another species. For example, if we simply remove any actual interaction between the raccoon and the opossum, they will still compete for berries, but they will do so indirectly by means such as being faster and better foragers. This type of competition occurs most often in nature. Finally, apparent competition is caused by a population growth in one particular species. So if the raccoon and the opossum are both prey to a coyote, but there is a growth in the opossum population, the coyotes are going to hunt more opossums, therefore making the deciduous forest a little safer for the raccoons.
So, there's competition explained. And, guys, I was kidding about Bobby eating garbage, okay? He can't because he is just a voice. Anyway, the final type of interaction we're going to dive into here is symbiosis, which is described as a very close relationship between two species. And no, not the same kind of relationship Bobby and I share. That kind of relationship is special. Biologists classify 3 types of symbiosis: parasitism, mutualism, and commensalism, like I hinted at in the intro. A parasite will live off of its host by depriving it of nutrients. A raccoon friend can be host to a number of parasites, like raccoon roundworm, where an infection will result in penetration of the gut wall by larvae and a subsequent invasion of tissue, leading to severe disease. Roundworm will survive by stealing the raccoon's nutrients, and the raccoon will get severe tummy troubles. But symbiosis isn't all bad. Mutualism is where both parties benefit. Like when a bee will pollinate a flower, the bee benefits by getting nectar, and the flower benefits by getting pollinated and therefore has a greater chance of reproducing. Finally, there's commensalism, where one organism benefits and the other gets nothing. Like how the sedentary barnacle will stick onto the bodies of larger animals like whales, and while the whale is on the move, the barnacle will pick up food materials like plankton. So in this case, the barnacle benefits by getting transportation and an easy source of food, and the whale, well, the whale gets nothing, loses nothing, and is probably not even aware that those things exist. So, this concludes our look at the 3 types of interactions, as well as the 3 types of those 3 types of interactions. Because scientists just love to work in triplets, apparently.
We also touched up on biomes and the factors that define them, as well as how animals function in their particular habitats. We also spent a lot of time following a raccoon.
Well, we thank you all for watching, and take care.